Well, I got a juicy one for you today. I'm back in Winnipeg, spending some time with my family, my parents. If you are not, everybody should be spending time with their parents. Take advantage of the time that you have while you still have it. But when I come back to Winnipeg, I try to make the most of my time. I try to be as efficient as possible when it comes to training, work, etc., etc. And one of my old instructors at a jiu-jitsu place that I used to roll at leaves a comment the other day. My friend, you know who you are. Love the videos. Good to see you doing well. Would love to see you sometime. Come by and roll anytime next time you're in Winnipeg. Well, funny enough, I was in Winnipeg a couple days after that. And go down, have a great session, doing some great stuff, great position work, a little bit of freestyle rolling at the end. And there is one gentleman, obviously I'm trying to remember names and whatnot. And one gentleman, hey, who are you? Travis, what's your name? Okay, etc. And he asked me, how old are you? And I said, well, how old do you think I am? And he says, you look about 25, 26. And for me, I've been getting 25, 26 since I was 18 years old. So now that I'm well beyond the other side of that, that's fantastic. And he asked me, he says, well, what's the secret? Like, why do you look so young? As I explained this to him, like from 18 to now, still looking at that same age range. And I said, you know what? Don't get married. That's the secret sauce. And he kind of gave me a weird smirk, like an uncomfortable smile. And I said, why, how old are you? And he's like, I just turned 30, 31, whatever it was. And I said, are you married? And he's like, yep. Just the defeat in this man's face. He hasn't even been thrown to the wolves yet at the family divorce machine and the family law courts to see how they really treat men. And he already knows that he screwed up. He messed up big time. And you know what? I was at the Newark airport the other day, flying from Newark, New Jersey, here to Winnipeg. And our flight was delayed about 7 or 8 hours. And on top of the fact that I saw all these fatties having complete meltdowns that, what am I going to eat for dinner? The flight was supposed to be 1 p.m. Now it's 8. This one dude, he was actually in fantastic shape. This dude must have been like 7 or 8% body fat, getting into a conversation just about the world and what's coming up down the pipeline. And exact same conversation. How old are you? Oh, he's 20 years old. Great shape. How about you? How old do you think I am? 25, 26. Oh, what's the secret? And in front of everybody in the line, I said, lots of water, sunlight, and do not ever get married. And I must have had about 3 whales snap their heads around like this and look at me like, what did you say? Well, yeah, the divorce rate's already 50%. That doesn't even take into account the marriages where everybody's unhappy, too fat, too unattractive, or too broke to move on and do better. Like, marriage is a complete flop and a failure. And they're looking at me like I have 3 heads on. I don't know anybody that's happily married, right? They sell you on marriage on this like blissful idea of like, if you get married, everything's going to be great. And then everything just completely crumbles. But we'll save that for a different monologue. The theme of today's video is how birth control cooked the West. Canada, US, any Western country. I'm here in Canada, obviously. Canada was cooked by birth control the same way everything else was. And here's why. So you don't know. The birth rates prior to no-fault divorce, hormonal birth control, and abortion coming in 1960 through 1970, the birth rates were at 3.8. They brought the birth rates down to 2.1 in that 10-year span. Never has there been such a high, dramatic drop in the birth rates in Canada specifically. I know the numbers are similar to the US, but we're sticking with the Canadian numbers here. And why was that? Well, now women could leave for any reason if they weren't happy. You could just leave and blow up the family. Hormonal birth control, she can be as promiscuous as she wants with no accountability, no responsibility. And instead of in the old days when you weren't responsible and then, I guess we're going to have a family now, you could completely dodge and avoid all that. And then the ability to headshot your future kids with abortion. And for those that don't know, since the year 2000 in Canada, there have been 8.1 million new Canadian babies. There have been 3.1 million abortions. Over 25%, almost 50% of all pregnancies in Canada the past 26 years have been the mother headshot in their future kids. You wonder why things are cooked.